Hey everybody again, this is actually Vintage Game Crazy here, back to do a pickup video that I haven't done in a long time, and there's actually too much stuff that I could upload from months and months, but I don't feel like getting it all together and actually trying to, put it all together, as it's just too much time, and I try to list stuff on eBay quickly. But anyway, this is for the last about 2 weeks or so. The only things, I don't know, I don't even know where to really start, I guess. The one coolest thing I actually got, is right up above me here, is my wife's friend gave this to me for free. It is Windows 7 Home Premium. It actually is a 32 and 64-bit version in it. It was actually really cool to get, and I used it to fix a computer for my parents, because their old one fried. So I was able to give them a really nice computer that I bought in a garage sale for only 25 bucks. That was easily worth, well over $100. So, can you say, you gotta love finding that kind of stuff. But as far as stuff that I found last week, I've gotten some, big lots of PlayStation games and all that, and I've sold them all, but a lot of them, good stuff. But I found some 3M high-density 5 1/4 inch floppy disks. One of these is actually a disk of programs. Some games, there's actually a DOS version 2.3. And these were $1.99 a piece. One of them is just a box of blank disks. So I actually can't complain about that. I went to thrift shops, and I've actually been buying a lot of PC games for quite cheap, and I've been buying them and reselling them. They've actually been making me quite a bit of money on eBay. They're tough to figure out what's worth money. It's really a niche market, but it's a market that makes you a lot of money, even despite eBay giving me so much trouble. eBay's just a complete, total nightmare. But I picked up, this was $3.99. I removed the sticker. This is Nocturne. This is a late 90s horror game, Pentium 2 era game. In really good condition, not perfect, but I'm going to resell that. Looks to be a pretty cool game that I'll probably never get a chance to try. I also picked up a copy of Oddworld, for the PC. This is actually Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. I believe it's the first one. And another game that's worth a few bucks. Kind of cool, something you don't see for the PC very often. I also picked up Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War Dark Crusade for, I believe it was like $1.99 or something like that, and it's complete and in relatively nice shape. So, I picked that up. As all, nice stuff to find. But I actually went on vacation this week up to the Wisconsin Dells. If any of you know where that's at, and you visited it, then you know what it's like. It's a tourist area, and then there was also a town about a half hour, 40 minutes away called Portage. And I picked up a bunch of miscellaneous stuff there as I'm trying to figure out just where I put it all. As I look for a couple of games here, bear with me for just a second. Right here. I went to a place, was a pawn shop, but yet really all it carried was video games and movies and stuff, and he had a random case of like swords and knives, but he really was a video game store that was called a pawn shop. And I picked these up, and they weren't the greatest deal, but they were good. He didn't really keep his stuff clean either. It was all pretty dirty, and he wanted full price for it. I did find a copy of Punisher for NES. This was $3. It's kind of dirty. It needs a lot of cleaning, but I didn't have it, and I used to kind of like it as a kid, even though it's not the greatest game. This was $7. This is Conquest of the Crystal Palace. This is a really great platforming game. I kind of wanted it for a while, and $7 seemed a little high, but it was a treat. I needed to treat myself on vacation. I went to a Goodwill up there, a little bit of an old-fashioned Goodwill, but it was actually not a bad store. It's a really nice store. It's in clean and good shape. I picked up Ico. Slightly beat up CD, but not in bad shape really overall. It's I haven't played this game, but I've heard great things about it, so I want to play it. This is $2.99 if you can't see the sticker on it. So I do want to give that a shot, although I may sell it when I'm done with it. Don't really keep too many PS2 games anymore. Also, listen to, if you know who I am, I listen to Christian music a lot. I picked up CD Kim Hill. This is a Surrender CD. I'm a big fan of that stuff. I collect a lot of that too, so that was $1.99. So those were happy to, nice stuff to find. And then I'll save the bigger stack for last, just because it's a little easier to go through these boxes right now. But I went to this little store. It was a bookstore, and but it's an old rundown kind of store in downtown Portage, if any of you are up there. And she had all, none of her stuff is priced right. She has this little selection of games, and they're all priced from ages ago. Every Nintendo game is $18.95. And then I found this little container of empty boxes on the floor, and asked her how much. She said, $2 a piece, but what do you feel is fair? And she said, how about $10 a piece? And I actually, for $10 for them all. And she says, does that sound fair to you? And I said, well, I was actually going to offer you, $1 a piece for every one of them, but $10 is fair. And she's like, no, I feel bad. Let me give you a few bucks back. And she gave them to me for $8. Some of these really aren't in good shape at all, but they were really cheap. This gauntlet here is, if you can see it, it's really sun faded. The front and sides, but it's got the manual in it. It's got the original Tengen sleeve with the foam, so I could use that for another box. Those are always nice things to have around. So I can throw a loose copy of the game in there to sell, just on eBay or whatever. But I also picked up it's fair condition, but not great. It's a box for Dungeon Magic for NES. It's got some creasing on the sides and some damage at the top, but it's in good enough shape for me to keep. No manual, doesn't even have the foam, so I might use the foam from the Gauntlet box. I actually got this one with it. This is Ultima Quest of the Avatar. I actually don't have this game. I thought I did. It's in fair condition, decent enough to display. So that's got the foam in it, so that's nice. I got that. Here's the Snake's Revenge. Again, it's in fair condition. The bottom's ripped. There's some permanent marker price on the top, and some other damage. There's no tabs on the flap. The last Nintendo box I got was for Metroid, and again, this is in bad shape. It's really sun faded and it's really worn out, but it's got the foam. And for the time being, I can put my game in there because I don't have a box. Until I find a nice box. That's just something. The two of them that really kind of make this deal, the $8 total for the boxes, a decent price, was I got a copy of Star Fox with Super NES. This is just the box. There's no manual. It does have the cardboard tray inside, and this is actually in fairly decent shape. There's a few small creases on it and stuff, but this is in really decent shape. I actually don't even have this game anymore. I don't know why, but I'll get it, sometime soon. Here's Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition for Super Nintendo, in really good condition too. Don't own this game either, believe it or not, but when I find the game for a whole whopping $1, I can put it in there, and it's gonna be really cool to have. And, you never find Super NES boxes for any kind of a decent deal. So I was more than happy to pick that up. I was actually stopping. I'll come back up to the camera. I stopped at a thrift shop and found a small thrift shop there in downtown, and I found a bunch of computer games, and these really surprised me because they're in really good condition. And some of them actually had more than one game in each one. These were dirt cheap, and they're old DOS games. Almost every one of them is on 5 1/4 inch floppies. And my computer with that drive actually isn't even working right now, so I can't test them. But the first one I will show you. This is Mega Traveler 1, the Zodani Conspiracy. This is actually brand new sealed for $1. And this is probably going to go right to eBay. I don't know what it's worth. I can't find completed auctions, but it's seemingly worth something pretty good. This is actually one that I'm really curious to see what it sells for. This is Fantasy Bonus Edition, containing 3 different games in it. Complete on 5 1/4 floppy for $1.50. This is IBM PC version. These are all PC versions. Actually, this has Fantasy 3, Fantasy 1, and Questron 2. All 3 games. I wish I could play these and try them before I go. I gotta settle for YouTube videos. Here is a copy of Fantasy 3, The Wrath of Nicodemus. These are almost all role-playing games, and very happy to find these. This was also $1.50, in really good condition, also complete. I'll have to see what that goes through. What that's worth, because a lot of these I can't find complete at auctions on eBay. Next one I found was actually $2. This is the Ultima Trilogy with Ultima 1, 2, and 3. It's the original trilogy. And this was, $2, like I said, and it's complete. And actually almost in excellent condition with a few small, spots of wear on it. But very, very easy to find these. You don't find these PC RPGs very common, especially in real good condition like this. Picked up a copy of SimCity 2000. This is the floppy disk version with actually 3.5-inch discs, and it's complete. This was $3 actually, and I thought some friend was going to like this, but it's not. It actually had a copy of Sim Isle in it, or included. So I got that. I also I bought this for $1, thinking it was going to be good. This is Kingdoms, or Total Annihilation Kingdoms rather. And it turns out the disc is not in here, but it's complete. Maps, everything's in here, so I'll either find a disc for this or I'll sell it for cheap. Make my money back on it, but still happy to have it. The one that I'm the most happy about, and I think that's probably going to be worth the most money, is actually for $2 I picked up the Bard's Tale 2. This is complete in a large box. It's a really thin box. Doesn't seem to be worth a whole lot, but what I didn't realize is it had the full version of the original Bard's Tale in it. Bard's Tale Tales of the Unknown Volume 1. It was kind of wedged inside the box. And this looks to be worth about $35 on eBay, so this is probably going to get sold, because I just don't have the way to keep it. It's just kind of, the money's burning a hole in my pocket. I do want to get the cash for that, so I'm probably just going to put that all on there. I'm really happy with those finds. They really made my day. So, I had a garage sale up there. I also grabbed a copy of Larry the Cable Guy's Health Inspector. Really like the movie. One of my favorite, just complete stupid comedies. So, well worth buying. It was $1. And when I got back home yesterday I got home, but today I went out to Goodwill on the way to the post office to see what they had. And I was actually surprised. I found a TRS-80 joystick. This was $2.99. Don't have too many of these. This is actually complete in the box. And the box is in really good condition, actually. There's some tape that's on there that I probably won't be able to get off, but you can find any other, no other TRS-80 stuff, just that. And but for the price, you couldn't beat it. I also found a Namco plug and play for $1.99. If you can see it, these are actually worth about $15. So this is just going to go on eBay. But for in nice shape, can't complain. And later on, I was dropping some stuff off to go to Goodwill, and right as I left, a friend called me, told me back at the same Goodwill he found some video cards, and I buy a lot of those, and they were $1.99 a piece. And these are actually 128 megabyte. They're not as good as I thought they were, but they're really nice for the price, and I can use them to build systems. This is an All-in-Wonder 9700 Pro. It's complete, really good condition. $2. This is a NVIDIA GeForce 4. This is a 4800 SE8. Again, $2. Nice cards to have, just to throw in Pentium 4s and stuff. And the last one I have is this guy right here. This is another 128 I'm actually going to end this video and post one more real quick.